Solitude is often misunderstood. It's seen as loneliness, as if being alone is something to fear or avoid. But solitude is not the same as being lonely. It is a powerful tool, an opportunity, and a gift. When you find yourself in a season of solitude, it's not a sign of failure, it's a chance for transformation. Solitude is where you find clarity. It's where your inner voice becomes louder than the noise of the world. It's a space where you can truly meet yourself and understand who you are and what you stand for. When you're constantly surrounded by others, you're inundated with their opinions, their expectations, and their energy. This can cloud your judgment, making it difficult to discern your true desires and aspirations. Solitude strips all that away. It gives you a clean slate to think, to feel, and to rediscover what matters most to you. It's in the quiet moments, the stillness, that you can hear the whispers of your heart and soul. Those whispers hold the answers you've been seeking. They guide you toward your purpose. Solitude is also where creativity flourishes. When your mind isn't occupied with the chatter of others, it has room to wander and explore. Some of the greatest ideas, innovations, and breakthroughs that come from moments of isolation. It's during these times that you can dream freely without judgment or limitation. You can map out the vision for your life with a clear and focused mind. Solitude is not just about reflection, it's about creation. It's the space where you build a blueprint for your future. Another powerful aspect of solitude is the opportunity for self-awareness. When you're alone, you're faced with yourself, your thoughts, your habits, your fears, and your strengths. It's an unfiltered view of who you are. This can be uncomfortable at first, but it's necessary for growth. Self-awareness is the foundation of transformation. When you understand yourself deeply, you gain the power to change, to evolve, and to become the person you're meant to be. Solitude also builds resilience. It teaches you to rely on yourself, to trust your own judgment, and to find strength within. When you stand alone, you realize that you are enough. You don't need a crowd to validate your worth or your journey. You learn to be your own cheerleader, your own motivator, and your own support system. This independence is a source of incredible power. It means that no matter what life throws at you, you have the inner resources to navigate it. But solitude isn't just about looking inward. It's also about preparing for what's ahead. When you take the time to reflect, plan, and grow, you set yourself up for success in the next phase of your life. Solitude is the pause before the breakthrough, the quiet before the storm of greatness. It's where you gather your energy, refine your vision, and align yourself with your goals. When you emerge from solitude, you do so stronger, wiser, and more focused. One of the greatest misconceptions about solitude is that it's a sign of weakness or unworthiness. Society often tells us that being alone is something to be ashamed of, that it means we're not likable or valuable. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Solitude is a strength. It's a declaration that you are enough on your own. It's a choice to prioritize your growth and well-being over the need for external validation. When you embrace solitude, you send a powerful message. You are committed to becoming the best version of yourself. It's important to remember that solitude is a season, not a permanent state. Like all seasons, it has a purpose. It's there to teach you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for what's next. When you're in a season of solitude, don't fight it. Embrace it. Use it to your advantage. Dive deep into self-discovery, pursue your passions, and build the life you envision. Trust that this season is shaping you into the person you're meant to be. So if you find yourself alone, don't despair. Recognize the power of the moment you're in. Know that solitude is a gift, not a punishment. It's an opportunity to connect with yourself on a deeper level, to create a vision for your life, and to build the strength and resilience you need to achieve it. Solitude is where transformation begins. It's where you plant the seeds of greatness. And when the season changes and the world begins to take notice, they'll see the fruit of the work you've done in silence. Your self-worth is not determined by the number of people in your life, the size of your social circle, or how often your phone buzzes with notifications. It is not about how many people you can call your friends or how many followers you have on social media. True self-worth comes from within. It is rooted in your values, your character, and your ability to stand strong in your purpose, even when the world tries to tell you otherwise. Too often, People equate popularity with value. They think that being surrounded by others makes them important or successful. But the truth is, you can have 1,000 people around you and still feel empty, misunderstood, or unseen. On the other hand, you can stand alone and feel whole, confident, whole, and unwavering. This is because self-worth isn't about external validation. It's about knowing who you are and embracing it fully, even when no one else acknowledges it. When you start to redefine your self-worth, you free yourself from the need for constant approval. You stop seeking validation from others and begin to recognize the strength, talent, and resilience that already exists within you. You realize that your value doesn't increase or decrease based on who chooses to be in your life. Instead, it's constant and unshakable because it comes from something deeper: your integrity, your vision, and your purpose. Standing alone can feel isolating at times, but it is often a sign of great strength. It means you are not willing to compromise your values or your goals for the sake of fitting in. It means you are choosing to honor your authenticity instead of conforming to the expectations of others. This kind of independence is rare and powerful. It shows that you have the courage to prioritize your truth over temporary acceptance. It's important to recognize that not everyone in your life is meant to stay. Some people are only there for a season. They may play a role in your journey, teach you lessons, or help you grow, but they are not meant to be part of your destination. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you doesn't diminish your worth, it enhances it. It shows that you value yourself enough to walk away from situations that hold you back or drain your energy. When you redefine your self-worth, you also stop comparing yourself to others. You understand that your journey is your need and cannot be measured against someone else's. You don't need to have the same accomplishments, lifestyle, or network as someone else to be valuable. Your worth is not in what you have, but in who you are and the impact you make in your own way. This mindset allows you to focus on your growth without the distractions of competition or envy. A crucial part of redefining self-worth is setting boundaries. When you value yourself, you won't allow others to take advantage of your time, energy, or kindness. You'll recognize when a relationship is one-sided or toxic, and you'll have the strength to say no. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about protecting your peace and ensuring that your actions align with your values and goals. By setting boundaries, you show others how to respect you and, more importantly, how you respect yourself. Redefining self-worth also means celebrating your progress and victories, no matter how small they may seem. It's about acknowledging your efforts and recognizing that you are worthy of success, happiness, and love simply because you exist, not because you've achieved a certain milestone or gained the approval of others. When you learn to validate yourself, you become less dependent on external recognition. You find fulfillment in your own growth and achievements. Lastly, when you stand firm in your self-worth, you attract better relationships and opportunities. People who truly value you will be drawn to your confidence and authenticity. You won't need to chase or prove yourself to anyone. Instead, you'll find connections that are genuine, supportive, and aligned with your purpose. The right people will see your worth because you see it in yourself. So don't let the absence of others make you question your value. Don't let the number of people in your life define who you are. Redefine your self-worth by looking inward, honoring your truth, and standing strong in your purpose. Remember, your value is not in the company you keep, but in the person you choose to be. And when you fully embrace your worth, you become unstoppable, not because of who surrounds you, but because of the strength and integrity that lies within you. It's crucial to understand that being alone doesn't make you weak, inadequate, or undesirable. On the contrary, it's often during periods of solitude that you discover your truest self and build your greatest strength. In a world that constantly glorifies being surrounded by people, going out every weekend, and having a bustling social circle, it's easy to feel like you're falling short when you find yourself walking alone. But the truth is, walking alone is not a failure, it's an opportunity. When you walk alone, you are forced to confront yourself in ways you never would if you were constantly distracted by the noise of others. Solitude allows you to reflect on who you are, what you want, and where you're going. It's a chance to strip away all the external influences and truly listen to your inner voice. And while it may feel uncomfortable at first, this discomfort is where growth begins. It's where clarity emerges. And it's where you begin to build the mental and emotional resilience that will carry you forward. Walking alone also teaches you self-reliance. It's easy to depend on others for validation, support, or direction. But when you're on your own, you learn how to trust yourself and make decisions that align with your values and goals. You stop looking to others to guide you and start paving your own path. This kind of independence is empowering because it shows you that you don't need anyone else to define your worth or determine your future. You have everything you need within you to succeed. In the quiet of solitude, you also find focus. When you're constantly surrounded by people, it's easy to get caught up in their opinions, expectations, and agendas. You might find yourself bending to fit their mold or chasing goals that don't align with your own desires. But when you walk alone, you have the space to focus on what truly matters to you. You can set your own priorities, develop your own strategies, and pursue your own dreams without the distractions of others pulling you in different directions. Walking alone also gives you the opportunity to evaluate the people in your life. Sometimes it's only when you step back that you can clearly see who is genuinely supportive and who is holding you back. Are the people around you encouraging your growth? Or are they keeping you stagnant? Are they celebrating your wins, or are they subtly undermining you? When you're constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to overlook these dynamics, but solitude gives you the clarity to recognize who belongs in your life and who doesn't. Another powerful lesson of walking alone is learning to embrace your own company. In a society that often equates being alone with loneliness, it's important to recognize that solitude and loneliness are not the same. Solitude is a choice, a decision to spend time with yourself for yourself. It's an act of self-care and self-discovery. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you become less dependent on others to fill the gaps in your life. You realize that you are enough just as you are. And that realization is incredibly liberating. Walking alone also gives you the freedom to grow at your own pace. When you're constantly with others, you might feel pressured to keep up with their timelines, their achievements, or their expectations. But when you're on your own, you have the freedom to focus on your own journey. You can take the time you need to learn, grow, and build the life you want without feeling rushed or compared to anyone else. This freedom allows you to make more thoughtful and deliberate choices, setting you up for long-term success. Finally, walking alone helps you build resilience. Life is full of challenges, and not every step of your journey will be easy. But when you've learned to walk alone, you know how to face those challenges head on. You've built the strength, confidence, and self-awareness to navigate obstacles without relying on others to carry you through. This resilience becomes a foundation for everything you do, giving you the courage to take risks, pursue your dreams, and overcome any setbacks that come your way. So don't be afraid of walking alone. Embrace it as an opportunity to grow, discover, and strengthen yourself. Recognize that solitude is not a sign of weakness, but a pathway to clarity, independence, and empowerment. The journey may be challenging, but it's in those challenges that you will find your true strength. And when you come out on the other side, you'll not only be stronger, you'll be unstoppable. Being alone provides a unique opportunity to reevaluate your values and align your life with what truly matters. Too often, people get swept away in the tides of societal expectations, peer influences, or the noise of daily life. When you are constantly surrounded by others, their voices can drown out your own, leading you down paths that might not be meant for you. But when you step back and allow yourself the space to reflect, you gain clarity about your own identity, priorities, and purpose. This process of reflection begins with silence, intentional silence. It's not about shutting out the world permanently, but about creating moments of stillness where you can hear your inner voice. When you're alone, you're not performing for anyone or bending to fit into someone else's narrative. You can ask yourself tough questions. What do I truly want? Am I living according to values? Is this the life I've dreamed of? Or am I simply going through the motions? These questions might not have immediate answers, but the act of asking them sets you on a path for self-discovery. Reevaluating your values often requires you to confront uncomfortable truths. You might realize that some of the things you've been chasing aren't as fulfilling as you thought they'd be. Perhaps you've been pursuing a career path because it's what others expected of you, not because it's what you're passionate about. Maybe you've been holding on to relationships out of obligation rather than genuine connection. These realizations can be difficult to face, but they are necessary for growth. They give you the clarity to identify what's truly important to you and what isn't. Once you've gained this clarity, the next step is to align your life with your values. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a deliberate process that requires courage and commitment. Or you might need to let go of certain habits, routines, or even people who no longer align with the person you're becoming. This can be challenging, especially if you built your identity around external validation or the approval of others. But remember, growth often requires letting go of what no longer serves you to make room for what does. Alignment also means setting boundaries. When you understand your values, you become more intentional about how you spend your time and energy. You stop saying yes to things that don't align with your goals, even if it means disappointing others. You stop allowing people to dictate your worth or influence your decisions. Instead, you take control of your life and create a space where your values can thrive. This might mean spending more time alone, focusing on personal development, or pursuing goals that others don't understand. But that's okay, your journey is yours alone. As you align your life with your values, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You start to feel a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Instead of chasing external achievements or approval, you'll find joy in living authentically. You'll realize that success isn't about impressing others or meeting their expectations. It's about living a life that feels true to you. This realization is incredibly empowering because it frees you from the pressure of comparison and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Reevaluating your values and aligning your life also helps you build resilience. When you're clear about what matters to you, setbacks and challenges become easier to navigate. You're not easily swayed by criticism or doubt because you know you're staying true to yourself. You develop the strength to stand firm in your decisions, even when others don't agree. This resilience becomes a foundation for everything you do, giving you the confidence to take risks and pursue your dreams. It's important to note that reevaluating your values isn't a one-time process. As you grow and evolve, your priorities and perspectives may change. That's why it's essential to periodically take time for reflection, even when life gets busy. These moments of introspection keep you grounded and ensure that you're always moving in the right direction. Ultimately, reevaluating your values and aligning your life is about creating a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling to you. It's about living with intention rather than simply reacting to the world around you. It's about being true to yourself, even when it's difficult or unpopular. And while this journey requires effort and courage, the rewards are immeasurable. You'll not only feel more confident and empowered, but you'll also inspire others to do the same. Your authenticity will become a beacon showing others that it's possible to live a life of purpose and integrity. So take the time to reflect. Ask yourself the tough questions. Be willing to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace the path that aligns with your values. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And as you walk this path, remember that you're not just living for the world, you're living for yourself. And that is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and the world around you. When life gets quiet and you find yourself alone, you have an opportunity that many overlook, the chance to develop emotional independence. Too often, people rely on external sources for validation, happiness, or a sense of belonging. They look to others to fill voids that only self-awareness and self-love can truly satisfy. But when you're alone, you're forced to confront your own emotions, learn to navigate them, and find strength from within. It's in these moments that you cultivate emotional independence, the ability to stand strong, no matter who is or isn't by your side. Emotional independence starts with acknowledging your feelings. It's about being honest with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. When you're not distracted by the noise of others, you can truly sit with your emotions and identify what you're feeling and why. Are you sad? Anxious, angry? Content? Excited? Whatever it is, allow yourself to feel it fully without judgment. Emotions are not weaknesses, they are indicators, signals pointing to what's happening inside you. By recognizing them, you take the first step toward mastering them. The next step is understanding that no one else is responsible for your emotional state. This is a hard truth for many to accept because it's tempting to blame others when we're unhappy. But emotional independence means taking ownership of your feelings and your responses to situations. It's not about dismissing or invalidating your emotions. It's about understanding that your happiness, peace, and self-worth cannot hinge on anyone else's actions or opinions. You hold the power over how you choose to process and react to life's events. Building emotional independence requires practice. It's about creating habits that nurture your inner strength and resilience. Start with self-care, true self-care, not just surface-level acts. This means taking time to do the things that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Exercise to release tension and boost your mood. Meditate or journal to clear your thoughts and process emotions. Read or listen to material that inspires and uplifts you. These acts are not indulgences, they're investments in your well-being. Another key part of emotional independence is learning to self-soothe. When you're upset or overwhelmed, you need strategies to calm yourself without seeking external reassurance. This might mean taking deep breaths, going for a walk, listening to music, or engaging in a hobby that brings you joy. It's about finding comfort in your own company and trusting that you have the tools to navigate difficult emotions. Over time, these practices build confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. One of the most transformative aspects of emotional independence is learning to reframe your mindset. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, but how you interpret and respond to them is entirely within your control. Instead of viewing difficulties as insurmountable, see them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you have and what you can create. This shift in perspective empowers you to approach life with resilience and optimism, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Emotional independence also means setting boundaries, healthy ones that protect your energy and peace. When you're emotionally independent, you don't tolerate disrespect or allow others to take advantage of your kindness. You value yourself enough to say no when something doesn't serve you and yes to the things that do. This doesn't mean shutting people out. It means prioritizing your well-being and surrounding yourself with those who uplift and support you. The beauty of emotional independence is that it doesn't make you cold or detached. On the contrary, it allows you to connect with others in a healthier, more meaningful way. When you're not relying on someone else to fill emotional voids, you can approach relationships from a place of wholeness. You're not seeking validation or trying to prove your worth. You're simply sharing your authentic self. This authenticity attracts genuine connections and deepens existing ones. It's important to remember that emotional independence doesn't mean you never need help or support. Everyone needs a hand sometimes, and asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Emotional independence is about knowing that even when you do seek support, you're still capable of standing on your own. It's about balancing self-reliance with the understanding that you're part of a larger community and that strength can be found in both giving and receiving. Cultivating emotional independence is a lifelong journey. It's not something you achieve overnight, nor is it a destination you reach and stay at permanently. There will be times when you feel strong and unshakable and times when you feel vulnerable and uncertain. That's okay. What matters is your commitment to continually growing and strengthening your emotional foundation. Every step you take toward emotional independence brings you closer to a life of greater peace, resilience, and fulfillment. When you're emotionally independent, you become unstoppable. You no longer depend on the opinions or actions of others to determine your worth or happiness. You move through life with confidence, knowing that you have everything you need within yourself to overcome challenges and achieve your dreams. You stop waiting for others to validate you and start living fully and authentically. This is the freedom and power that emotional independence brings, and it all starts with the courage to sit with yourself, face your emotions, and build strength from within. Choosing to embrace solitude as a strength instead of fearing it is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Society often paints being alone as something negative, as if your worth is determined by how many people surround you. But the truth is, solitude is not a sign of weakness. It's an incredible opportunity to grow, focus, and recalibrate. It's a chance to build a relationship with yourself, free from distractions, and to discover what truly matters to you. When you choose solitude, you're choosing to stand confidently in your own space and take control of your own narrative. The power of solitude lies in the clarity it brings. When you're constantly surrounded by people, noise, and opinions, it's easy to lose sight of your own thoughts and desires. You may find yourself influenced by what others think you should do or who they think you should be. Solitude removes those external voices and gives you the silence to hear your inner voice. It's in this quiet that you can reflect on your goals, reassess your priorities, and realign with your true purpose. This is where real self-discovery begins. Solitude also teaches you to appreciate your own company. This is a skill many overlook because they're so used to seeking validation or distraction from others. But when you spend time alone, you learn to enjoy your own thoughts, quirks, and ideas. You realize that you don't need external approval to feel fulfilled. You are enough just as you are, and solitude gives you the space to embrace that truth fully. This self-acceptance is the foundation of unshakable confidence. One of the most significant benefits of solitude is the mental and emotional recharge it provides. Life is demanding, and constantly being in the presence of others can drain your energy. Solitude is your opportunity to unplug, reset, and pour energy back into yourself. It's not about isolation, it's about restoration. Use this time to do things that nourish your soul, whether that's reading, meditating, journaling, or simply sitting in silence. These moments of stillness allow you to process your emotions, clear your mind, and approach life's challenges with renewed strength. Solitude doesn't just help you recharge, it also boosts your creativity. When you're alone, your mind is free to wander without interruption. You can explore new ideas, think deeply about problems, and come up with innovative solutions. This is why so many great thinkers, artists, and leaders value solitude is where their best ideas are born. By embracing solitude, you create the mental space needed to think outside the box and bring your unique vision to life. Another powerful aspect of solitude is the perspective it offers. When you step away from the noise of the world, you can see things more clearly. You gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your circumstances. You can evaluate your relationships, habits, and choices without bias or pressure. This clarity allows you to make decisions that align with your values and goals rather than reacting to what others expect from you. Solitude gives you the power to pause, reflect, and act with intention. Choosing solitude also strengthens your resilience. When you're comfortable being alone, you become less reliant on others for your sense of security or happiness. This doesn't mean you don't value relationships. It means you're not afraid to stand on your own when necessary. You learn to trust yourself, to rely on your own judgment, and to face challenges head on. This independence is empowering and prepares you to handle life's ups and downs with grace and strength. Embracing solitude doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world. It means prioritizing moments of quiet to nurture your inner self. It's about finding balance, spending time with others while also making space for your personal growth. When you have a healthy relationship with solitude, you can engage with others more authentically. You're not seeking connection out of neediness or fear of being alone. You're building relationships from a place of strength and self-assurance. Solitude is not something to fear or avoid. It's a gift to cherish. It's your opportunity to reconnect with yourself, to grow stronger and wiser, and to prepare for the path ahead. When you choose solitude, you choose growth. You choose clarity. You choose self-love. And in doing so, you become unstoppable. So don't run from solitude, embrace it. Use it as a tool to become the best version of yourself and to live a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment.